Yo.
What up? What up?
Woo, here we go again past curfew. Let's go.
That's the way I'm gonna get. One day I'm gonna get home and the door's gonna be locked.
Lock's gonna be changed. You come back.
I'm gonna sleep in the car.
You come back, bro. I got you.
I appreciate that, man. Welcome back, everybody, to the Carbon Footprint Podcast. He is Juan and I'm Sean, and every week we get together, have a few drinks, talk about things going on in the world, try to focus on things making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. Hit them with the drink of the day.
Ooh, let's go, man. New one this week, and I might have to add this to the rotation, man. It's really simple, and it tastes great. And it's our first time on the pod, if I'm not mistaken, doing the aviation gin.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
We shout out Deadpool. That's his Ryan Reynolds' gin, so aviation gin. But yeah, this week it's a lemon basil smash. Pretty simple. Like I said, really, really good, really refreshing. I took lemon basil, which we grabbed a local lemon basil from a place called Sprout Urban Farm. This girl, she grows like basically a bunch of microgreens and hydroponic lettuce and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
So just found it at the local farmers market here. But yeah, found this. I was like, okay, I got to make something with it, and decided to do a take on a drink that I sort of saw using this stuff. But yeah, the lemon basil tastes phenomenal. And so we use that in a shaker. We put the lemon basil. I did some agave syrup and muddled those two together. Added the juice from half a lemon.
Okay.
Added the ice. Added a shot of gin. Shake it up. Throw it in a rocks glass filled with ice, and then just literally a splash of club soda, and that's it. And I think the club soda is kind of optional. It tastes good with or without. But we added it. There was too much club. It's literally like a splash.
Yeah, it is a splash.
Literally a splash of the club soda. Just gives it that kick. But yeah, it's good. So one more time, the lemon basil, the agave simple syrup, muddle that, add in the lemon juice from half a lemon, throw ice, throw in the gin, shake it up, pour it in a rocks glass. And top off the club soda. Garnish it with a little lemon peel. We did for the scents and for aesthetics.
And squeeze the lemon peel, because you'll get that. You get the scent from the zest before you hit the drink. It's really good. So that actually adds to it. So
true, man. But yeah. Shout out. So lemon basil smash, man. This week I think it's a first for the pod.
Dude, I'm surprised that we still like. I'm pretty sure if we bring some liquor in here. Mm-hmm. Like, I still remember, and we're on episode, 175?
Yeah, this will be 175.
Yeah. I can remember if we've had something before.
Yeah, usually can, too. This is the one that I was unsure of, because I know I've had it once before.
Yeah, I've never had this.
But I couldn't remember if it was on the pod, or if I had it on the pod also. Like, I remember having it outside of the pod, but I couldn't remember. I'm like, damn, I feel like it would have been something that's popular enough that we would have had already, but there's just so many options.
Yeah.
But it's good, actually. I really like it, because my intention was originally to pick up Hendrix,
okay,
and then do one of the off sort of not the regular Hendrix, just something that was
one of the
floral or something.
Yep.
But I saw this and I went, I don't know if we've had this, and it might be good to try. And it tastes great, man. I mean, I know we're mixing it, but we're not mixing it with a lot. And it really good. So yeah, it's awesome. So shout out to Aviation.
So the lemon,
American made too.
America. Lemon basil smash. People, check it out.
Yeah, for sure. It's good, man. I'm gonna add this to the rotation because it's simple enough where I know these ingredients I'll have around. I think a lot. Maybe the
other than the lemon basil, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Our carbon footprint this week is going out to U.S.-based companies. Why? Because there was a survey conducted by Intelligent.com, and they surveyed 800 U.S. employers. And they said 45% of U.S. companies plan to eliminate bachelor degree requirements in 2024.
Let's go.
I think this is really impactful. I know over the years, we've been doing this now almost 4 years, and we've done education stuff over the years where maybe a 4-year degree is kind of worth less than what it used to be, and how some education or some companies were actually doing. It wasn't Google. I think Google did like an education thing where they were kind of giving almost like certifications versus having to have a degree. And so we've been seeing this thing over the last 4 years, like the need for a bachelor's degree continue to drop. And I thought that was really interesting, man, because I have kids in high school. All 3 of my boys are in high school. And, I'm fighting with myself. We've prepaid for their college. So it's right, so they're fine. But I got at least one that's not really too fond of school. And I'm finding myself like, I don't necessarily want to push him to more school, right? And I can't use the age old like you need a degree, because that appears to be going away. And again, we've been seeing this trend at least over the last 4 years.
Yeah. I think, and I mean, I've had a love-hate thing with school. And I always feel like I was born in the wrong generation, because I felt like if I was like around this time now, it would have been an easier time for me. But I'm not a big fan, and I'm finding that I'm doing that with my kids too, where like I'm really careful. If I go, well, when you get to college, I'm like, oh, when you graduate from high school, it's like you don't want to you want to encourage them to do something. You just don't know what that is. And then like, like for your son, do you like, it's like find the thing that he likes and then nurture that. It's really difficult that they don't have an interest, but you go, okay, if I can't push you to, say, traditional college, do I push you to a trade school? Do I push you to focus on an interest that you really have and figure out a way to monetize that? Or, I don't know, or on a path of like self-discovery, quote unquote, go find the thing then that you like. Right. And how do you do that? How do you nurture that? Because I think as parents, you just want to give your kids the opportunity to do. And I know for some people it's very traditional, and they're like, you have to go to college and you have to do this. And I don't know. I guess I'm not one of those. I just want my kids to be happy and understand that, listen, you got to make a living. How you choose to do that is all on you, and it dictates your lifestyle. And like only you know, sort of like what you need, right?
You have to make money. That's kind of the bottom line.
And like you have to, like, you want to live how you lived here, you probably got to figure out a way to make a lot of money.
Right.
Like, or it just depends, like what you want to do. Like you might have a really simple life and want very simple things, and that is okay.
And that's okay too, right? I mean, you always talk about Gary Vee, somebody that we've followed over the years, and he puts that, where he's like, yo, you want to, you can live real humbly and have 3 roommates and all 3 of you share the stuff, right? Like it really depends on what is it that you want in life.
So he was pushing one lately, and a friend of ours sent me this. And it's like Gary was even pushing to like, some of you should be stay-at-home parents, mom or dad. He's like, some of you raise amazing human beings and you pour all yourself into that. And, the next generation or like kids need that. They want that. And that's a skill that we don't sort of like promote enough.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's so fucking true, right? Like being a stay-at-home mom or dad is really, I think even
it's a very thankless job.
It's an extremely thankless job. And for the people who do it without raising shitty humans, you're like, man, that's more beneficial to society probably than a college degree, is raising a good person. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like because that good person, whatever, they stay out of trouble and don't just cause more havoc, but you just don't know what impact they end up having sort of on the world, man.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that these companies are starting to get hip to this and understanding that like the degree doesn't necessarily, like before it used to be like the price of admission. Like I remember for me for a long time, like I worked in a career where I did the job, but because I didn't have sort of the credentials, like, right, like it sort of held me back from certain things. And
even from pay, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Right. And I had a mentor, tell me all the time, like, I know you hate it. It's the price of admission. Like, you don't have to agree with it. It's just sort of the world we live in right now. Like, you just got to get the piece of paper. Like, I know you can do it, and it was one of those things where I had to like suck it up and do it, but I hated it, right? Like, hated every minute of.
I was gonna say, I'm sure you fought that, at least verbally,
with everything.
It, right?
All the time. Because to me, it's like, but I'm showing you that I could do the job, right? And I think that's what these employers now seem to be understanding is like, well, people can do the jobs. I also think, dude, the price of school, of education, this whole loan forgiveness and all that stuff is like, also, I think playing a role in this, because you're seeing kids not only shy away from school because they don't think it's for them. I think it's become cost prohibitive, and they aren't as eager, I think, to take out those loans that maybe my generation was and your generation was.
Dude,
to go to school.
I've heard of students in sort of recent years that have, that still go, oh yeah, I'm not going to college because I can't afford it.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go to work. And it's like, and it's like, I look at my kids, man, and obviously I'm just kind of worried about those three humans at this point, right? But man, I'm just, like I said, struggling to go, how do I guide them? And I told one of them, I told two of them today, I'm just like, man, we're treading lightly because I'm trying to push you into not even into a certain direction, but I'm trying to push you, but still allowing you the freedom to choose, and to kind of find, like you said, to find yourself and but when I don't see you doing anything, when I don't see you with any interest, like those are the things that concern me, because I don't even know what to tell you to chase. And
yeah, it's hard, right, with that. Yeah, with
right.
That scenario.
And then I kind of went down the list and kind of named, some family and friends, and I go like, hey, listen, I know people in these fields, and if any of this stuff interests you, I can put you in contact with these people, because clearly what I do doesn't interest you. So, and what your mom does doesn't interest you, right? So, but I can push you to other people that can kind of tell you about what they do if it seems interesting. But nothing seems to be interesting to you.
Yeah, that's hard to work with. Yeah, because it's easy to nurture that, right? Like I have my daughter is, like, as of today, obsessed with art in every way, shape, or form, and so we pour into her the art stuff, like whether that's buying supplies, taking her to art shows, and like we just, whether it's some new technique she wants to try, she wants stuff. It's like you go all in on that and nurture that. And maybe tomorrow she wakes up and doesn't like it anymore. But it's like, I'm going to let you sort of explore that as far as you want to take it. And then who knows what it becomes, right? Because I think, it's funny, man. It's like we do this. You always hear these stories of like a pro athlete, right? And they'll be like, my dad gave me a golf club when I was 2. And it becomes this like romanticized story of like this kid and the prodigy and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, Tiger Woods kid.
Yeah. But then you go, but if you hand a kid a paintbrush or, a book or whatever at that age, and you tell the story of like, I did that. Like, it's not looked at as like you're nurturing this skill, and you are. It's just not as sexy maybe, or it's not as, it doesn't get the sort of, I guess, publicity, or, it doesn't add entertainment value for people or whatever it is. But like, it's equally as important. Like, I know so many people who are like, oh, I've always liked to sing, or I've always liked to, and maybe they're just singing at a choir now, or they're playing flute in some traveling orchestra. But it's like, I've liked playing an instrument since I was 7. And it's like, I've just always done it. Like, you just, like, I think we think amazing. Rich equals successful. It is not necessarily the case, man.
At least financially successful, right? Like, but I think as parents, we want our kids, like, I want my kid to and I tread lightly on this one too, man. It's like, I want my kid to be happy. Like, we all want to fucking be happy, man. Like, so it's not necessarily about happiness, but it's about doing something that you enjoy doing on a daily basis. You don't want them guys to get up every day and going like, oh fuck, I got to go into this place and work. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, like I said, just trying to drive them into, like I said, we already have college already paid for. So still sort of steering them that way, but also with the option of like, this is not your only option. Maybe you go and intern somewhere. Maybe you go and get a different trade, whatever you're interested in. Yeah. But man, it's been tough with not knowing what direction to push them in, man. That's tough.
I think you have to push them to just try shit. Then at this point is like where you have to just keep pounding them at the just try, pick a hobby, man. Just keep doing stuff. Because listen, kudos to you guys, man, for like the college being taken care of. Just checks a box. We were like, all right, you don't have to think about money if this is the route you want to go to, and even if you don't think college is for you, it's paid for. And so do you go on this exploratory 1 or 2 years and then decide it's not for me? Like, you have that option. Like,
see, but let me stop you there, because I think that, and I've just from personal experience, the first 2 years of college is like fucking 13th and 14th grade.
It sucks, bro. Yeah.
It's like high school. Yeah. It's like extended high school. You know what I mean?
And it was for me because I went to college with everyone I went to high school with. So it was literally 13 and 14th grade.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And the subjects that you're taking is, are very high school-esque.
Yep.
It's not really until you get into your junior year that you actually get into your, you pick your major, and then you're getting into specifics.
Dude, I think I've told the story on here before where, like, I remember I went to community college here, a school called Valencia. I think it's a college now, but it was a community college at the time. And I remember going, and the first day they gave me the schedule, and it was like honors, mathematics, and honors fucking English and blah blah blah. And I was like, huh? And I go to the whatever the
counselor or
whatever it is, or advisor, and then I'm like, all right, so what changes? Like, well, you'll get an honors degree. I'm like, so I'm going to get an honors AA degree, but I have to do more work for it because presumably I'm like, you're putting me in these classes. That means it's going to be, they're like, oh yeah, well, it's more intensive and da-da-da. It'll be academically more challenging for you. And I go, put me in the stupid The lady was just laughing. She's like, but why? She's like, you scored X here, so that's why we put you there. I go, no, put me with the stupid people. Like, if my degree is the same as everyone else's, she's like, well, yeah, but you would have graduated with honor. Ain't nobody looking at going, you graduated from community college with honor. I'm like, I promise you. Stick me with the dumb ones where I will thrive.
You know what's funny that you say that, man? So I have so my youngest is in like online school. So he's in freshman in high school, but he's doing the online
virtual,
school. Yeah, the virtual. Yep.
Okay.
So every time he's got to like pick classes or whatever, he'll pick classes and he throw him into these honors classes. But he's already done them, bro. It is the exact same lesson with more homework. So they're teaching you nothing more, but there's just more homework at the end. And he's like, no, like I don't want to do more homework.
See, I learned that lesson in high school because I took like AP or like honors classes, and I was like, I just had more work. Fuck that. Like, I'm learning the exact same thing, but I get to practice it more because you think I'm smarter than him. Like, no, why? Like, man. I think, man, that's a tough one because I'm a little bit behind you in terms of like where my kids are, and so. Right now, I'm looking at it like, like my daughter's in middle school, my son's still in elementary. It's like they're going to change their mind so many times. And your boys will too, but they're also a lot closer to that point where, hey, you have to just start aiming for something right now, at least though, and like trying it out. But I mean, I will tell you, I changed my major, you know this, like, maybe double-digit times. Like, I changed my major so many times when I got into college, like so many times. So they may even change their minds a bunch, but you have to like keep pushing them, I think, towards just trying shit. Yeah. Just hobbies.
It's not a bad idea, man. Listen, I didn't claim my major until I was 20. I didn't go back to. I went to college from like 18 to 20.
Yeah.
Marine Corps from 20 to 24. Just worked 24 to 26. Went back to school then, and I want to say at like 27 was when I claimed my major.
And what made you decide that?
Decide what?
The major.
I think I was going towards the finance route because I was kind of good in math and science type shit, right? I didn't really know what to do, and I was just like, I'm gonna get a business degree and I'm gonna go the finance route. And everybody was kind of telling me, that's probably a good, that's a good path to take. And then someone told me about IT. And they were just like, hey, there's a new degree that UCF is offering. And at the time, which I don't think UCF even offers it anymore, it's the management of information systems. Because I tried to get your degree, I think, at UCF at one point. They wouldn't, I think I just missed the year before was like the last year you could get grandfathered then. Yep. Yeah, so some guy told me about it. And at the time, I didn't really know shit about IT. But I had a PC at home and I was super, like, it intrigued me. Just getting on it and learning new shit intrigued me. And so I was like, and I basically just put the two papers of the majors and what classes of the finance and this, and I looked at the classes and I go, this shit on the finance side is all boring, and all this shit looks like it's interesting, and that's how I chose.
Yeah, that's it. Did I?
It's I've never regretted it, by the way.
No, and of course not, bro. It's like one of those things where like. You couldn't have gone wrong career-wise with either one in terms of like, I guess, employability and making a living, and all that stuff. But definitely not as fun. And I remember at one point I did major in like computer science or whatever it was, and I remember taking like programming classes, and that made me know that I didn't want to do that because they were so.
They're intense, man.
Very intense, and I have trouble keeping focus as is. And what I realized really quickly is like coding's not for me. Like the how tedious that can be, and the level of focus that it requires for hours at a time to program or to learn code and all that. I'm like, oh, that's just not, like, I was self-aware enough, like taking the class to know, oh, fuck, I couldn't do this. Like this would be miserable as a job. Like it was horrible. And then every time I changed majors, I wound up just learning them the hard way. The way I wound up, I have a business degree. The way I wound up with that was I literally just went to somebody one day and went, here's my credits. I think with the school that I went to, what can I get the quickest? And they, whatever,
and
did the thing.
Underwater basket weaving.
Yeah. And I was like, bet, where do I get the scoop again? But they were like, yeah, business. And I was like, well, fuck it, sign me up for business. Like, I'm just over it. Like, I just want to be done. Because I did computer science, I did law, I did economics, I did political science, oh my God, bro, everything, dude. If you name it, I majored in it at some point in time. I get to have enough
You're
credits.
like fucking Pauly Shore.
Oh, bro, I got a doctorate in nothing. What's that movie with Pauly
I know, that's
Shore?
what I'm trying to think. I can't remember, man. It's like when he goes to home with the chick for Thanksgiving.
Dude, I changed my major so many times. I think I did sports, or I was on a track for, I wanted to do like a sports agency program that UCF had. I did it all, man.
Majored in Taekwondo for 2 semesters.
I took racquetball for 2 semesters. That shit was lit.
Yeah?
I did racquetball and basketball.
2 semesters?
2 semesters of basketball and racquetball. Don't ask me how I got
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, me neither. That shit was awesome.
Basketball?
Basketball.
Too?
I literally you just played basketball, and they just taught you the fundamentals, quote unquote, of the game. The lady who taught the class was like a coach for, I think, the women's team USA. At one point,
outta here,
it was awesome. You basically just rolled up with your friends. You want to talk about your friends? And this was one of the classes. I deliberately did this. It was only twice a week, and it was like a 3-hour class. So I just played pickup ball for 3 hours on a Tuesday morning. It was awesome. And then same thing with racquetball.
Listen, man. We can't post this episode because if my son hears that, he's like, I know what I'm doing. At least the first semester.
Bro, racquetball. Racquetball I was so done
he'll do basketball. He's like, they offer basketball? Yeah, I'm doing that.
Basketball is awesome. But you can get a degree in some kind of physical education. Maybe that's his thing, man. He could be a gym teacher. Do those exist anymore? Is that a thing? Do we let kids play outside?
They do. They have coaches. Everybody's a fucking coach.
That's true. There's like sports. I know people went to FSU and got sports like they're not quite coaching, but it's like sports. It's not quite management, but it's like directorial. I don't know, something to do with sports. But I know a few people who've got that degree from FSU. Yeah, that's funny.
But to wrap this up a little bit, man, there was a couple other things here where it was like 4 out of 5 employers value experience over education, and then 2/3 of hiring managers have candidates complete a test before offering a job.
Wow, 4 out of 5, you said experience
over the degree.
Well, fuck y'all. Where were you when I was?
You in the wrong place.
Yeah, bro. I heard the opposite my entire career for like the first half of it. I don't hear it anymore, but I used to hear it all the fucking time. It was like, you're good, but, and it was always the degree thing, man. Yeah, always.
Yeah, man. Well, dude, but speaking of jobs, bro, did you see this shit that came out the other day, man? It said 64% of people would quit their job tomorrow if not for money. Bro,
I was laughing because it was like, that's like saying like, 64% of people stop being thirsty if they just drank water. Because it's like, well, no, duh. But it's also, I don't know, when you, like, it's funny, but it's also like, it's kind of sad because, again, now that you're pushing your boys to do something, and this is why I'd say, I guess I push like my kids being happy. It's like, there's nothing worse, man, than getting up every day to do something every single day that you don't want to do.
That's what I'm saying.
And we all do it for a paycheck or whatever that thing is. Right. Like a lot of people do. Like the vast majority of people are unhappy doing what they do for a living, but they have to because of money or whatever. Or they
and then also like we buy shit, right? And then that shit usually ends up owning us.
Well, so, you're a prisoner to your stuff.
Yeah, you gotta pay a mortgage, or you got car payments, or whatever. You got kids' school, like whatever those expenses are, man. We kind of tie ourselves down to that. But it kind of goes back to, like you just said, pushing them to do something that you're happy with, man. And listen, you're gonna have bad days. I don't give a shit what you do.
Yeah.
Or what career you choose. You're gonna have those bad days. But in general, if you are waking up every day going, "Fuck this place," you should probably leave.
Yeah, dude, if you hate getting up every day to go to your job, like, you gotta, and I know we preach this on this all the time. I have for like a long time. Like, you have to make changes. Like, I think if you wake up every day hating what you're about to do, that fucking sucks. And I think it's really hard for a lot of us to pull the trigger because, to your, like what you were saying before, is our stuff sort of keeps us hostage.
Yep.
But when you really start to think about like how easy it is to like wean yourself off of that stuff or get rid of it, or like, if you know, you always say this, like, if you have a plan B, plan A never works out, right? Because you're sort of in the back of your mind, you don't work as hard or you don't make things happen because you know you have a fallback. But if tomorrow your job laid you off and you had to figure out a way to survive, most of us would.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
You'd be fine.
You would just change.
You would just change your spending habits.
Yeah, you adjust, bro.
And you would figure out ways to make money that you didn't think of today or know today because sort of, you know, your head was
yeah,
you know,
dude, COVID proved that to a lot of people.
As fuck. Yeah, all the time. How many people we know in COVID started doing side hustles and gigs and never went back to work, man?
Yep.
Like, they just proved
and
it
dude,
on.
not for nothing, man. You and I were part of something where a company sort of left an area, and then you know, probably 95% of the people that worked there went to go work elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like, literally said, no, like, I'm not moving to where the company's going, so I'm gonna, you know, leave and go elsewhere. And everybody that I know of is fine.
Well,
if not doing better.
Not doing better. Yeah. There's not many people from that group, man, that we were in that wasn't sort of better off for the most part.
Yeah.
At least in terms of like career and financially and all that. What I will say, it's funny, man, you mentioned that finding that group of, this is going to sound like an insult, but it's not. What we had where we worked was like having that group of friends in high school that you sort of hung out with, like the it was very cliquish in terms of like, here are the jocks, here this, here that, here that, but everyone sort of knew each other and everyone was really close. And it would be like going to a high school reunion, you know, and you're still like,
yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I think I've worked at a few places since, and I've never seen that anywhere else, where like I mean, like, that place was like a high school in like the best way, meaning like, you know, everyone didn't exactly always get along, but there were relationships and a respect and like a camaraderie that we had that I've never experienced anywhere else that I've worked. And so from that perspective, I would be like, man, it's been hard to duplicate that. But from a career perspective, and then in terms of everyone's life, I feel like most of the people that I know are better off because they were forced to take the leap that they wouldn't have taken. And I think it was hard
because we had a good environment.
We had a very good environment. And then how many people there were lifers and then just didn't think that they could do it anywhere else? And then they figured out really quickly that, oh, no, but I can. I just, when you were forced to do it, you did.
And then I think the way that we worked there, I think gave people an advantage when they left.
Absolutely. Because we
learned a lot of shit that we probably, you know, we weren't so segmented.
Right.
Like you just knew a lot of areas.
You knew a lot of areas. You got to spend time. You know, like for me, I got to spend a lot of time with like you and your area and like pick up on IT shit. Now, I couldn't do it, but I would then learn enough to be able to speak intelligently about it, or at least know what to ask. Yep. Right. Like, and then same thing for you guys. Like I feel like we had this thing where it's like you knew what to go ask because we all spent so much time together, where it's like, oh, it impacts this XYZ. And then you guys would know when you were working on something like, oh, you need to go talk to so-and-so because they do this. And like, I don't know that that's normal, and it hasn't been, in my experience, normal that people are that. Yeah, for sure. But from a career perspective, man, and just like people, whether they make more money or get different positions or whatever, like everyone that I knew was pretty much better off. Again, because I think they just took that leap of faith and realized that the skill set that they had was sort of transferable in other places. Yeah, and it was very highly sought after because it was for a really big multinational company that, you know, maybe if you went somewhere else, that was really valued. So
yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely, man. Dude, it's also just sad, man, like when you think about how we spend our time, because work is where you spend more time at work than your family. You spend more time at work. You know, of the whatever, however many hours you're awake a week, you spend 40 hours of it. You know, let's say you're
40
awake.
plus, bro.
Yeah, right. At a minimum, you're spending 40 hours. If you're awake for 80, that's half your time. You know, it's just fucking sucks if you hate it. It's really bad, man. There's nothing more that I like makes me sort of like sad the older I get, where when you see people are like, man, you're just doing that shit because.
Yeah. And you never know how much time you got left, man. You seen this guy? What was it? The Golden State Warrior coach?
Yeah, Dejan Milojevic. I think that's how you say his name.
Something like that. Yeah. This guy, 46 years old, the coach, or he's one of the coaches for the Golden State Warriors, right?
Golden State.
Died of a heart attack, man. 46 years old, bro. Dude, that to me 3 years ago. That to me when we started this fucking pod.
Dude, that's...
You know what I mean? Dude, that's...
Dude's at a team dinner, collapses.
Oh, is that what happened? They went to dinner?
Yeah, they were at a team dinner in Utah. They were getting ready to play the Jazz tonight, and they wound up postponing the game. And it's funny, man, when they postponed the game this morning, I was like, oh, fuck, that's weird. And it was like, oh, because of the coach's medical emergency. Right. They hadn't said that he died yet. And I was like, it's really weird to postpone a game. It must be pretty serious. And I didn't know if it, like, I was like, oh, fuck, does he have, like, COVID or something, you know, like, that they're saying they want to keep the team away. Yeah. But then they wound up saying later that he died. And I was like, fuck, dude. Bro. Like, that's, you know, a guy presumably in shape, you know, works at a very physical job, does, you know, what, you know, he doesn't.
No, but you go like, you would hope that, right, this guy is doing something.
Yeah, he doesn't look unhealthy when you see him, and he's doing something that he loves, and then just in the blink of an eye, man. Yeah, like I read that shit, and I'm like, and obviously you don't know him, but you're just like, fuck, man, literally overnight, like in the blink of an eye, that guy's life changed, his family's life changes, because he, whatever, went to work one day and then just fucking collapsed and didn't make it out. Like, it's just, and then you just go, man, yeah, like, fuck, how many of us are doing that daily? Dude, Cat Williams, man, as much shit as we gave him on the Club Shay Shay thing, had a thing on there that really made me think, where he's like, he was like, if people really, truly looked at, and he was talking about something that he does. I'm like, he's like, you know, I do this every day, and I promise you, if you do this every day, you're going to start making some drastic changes in your life. And it's so fucking true, man, because he was saying that every night, and I'm going to paraphrase here, but essentially before he goes to sleep, he almost assumes that's his last day, and he takes sort of inventory of that day. And it's like, all right, this was it. Like, what? Like, what, I don't know, like sort of like, what did I think of it? How did it go?
Right. Did I make the most of it?
Did I make the most of it? Was I doing what I wanted to be doing? And he's like, if you start doing that every day, just asking yourself, like, all right, this is it. Like, how do I feel if this was it? And this is like, over time, eventually, you're gonna say no enough times where you're gonna start forcing yourself to make changes. With like, and it's so fucking true, man. Because I remember I've done that before. The opposite, where I wake up in the morning going, today was my last day, is what I'm about to go do right now, the thing that I would want to be doing. And I said that enough times to where eventually, you know, it sort of like kicked me in the ass. But like, it's so true, dude. He's like, you will eventually start making different decisions in your life of like, I'm going to bed right now. If this is it, you know, what do I think? And I'm like, fuck, that's super profound, man. And it's so true. Like, because we all, it's a cliche, like, live your, you know, today like it's your last. We don't do that shit.
No one does that.
No one does that shit. But it's like, man, if you
really force yourself to think like we're going to be here forever.
Absolutely.
Or not all, but the vast majority
live. Like, yeah. That was 99.9% of us live like, yeah, like we're going to live forever. Like, it's just, and then you're talking about like the choices you would make. And you're like, well, yeah, like you made a comment earlier. I think maybe we were off air. It's like, if you knew you had 6 months left, would you make some different and I'm like, abso-fucking-lutely. There was so many things I would change if I knew I had 6 months to go. And then it's like, well, what keeps you from changing those? You know, it's just like, why are you waiting to hear the bad news?
Dude, but I wonder, so is it that, okay, well, because I don't know that it's going to be 6 months from now, I need to maintain what I have going on right now. And whereas if you go, I got 6 months to live, then you go, well, fuck it. I don't have to maintain shit. And everybody around me should understand that I don't need to maintain shit because I'm dying.
I don't even think we think about it that far. I think we just think about, I think we are forced to face our mortality and go, well, I don't want to spend my last 6 months doing this. Because when I'm gone, like, I mean, to that point, like, when I'm gone, somebody's got to figure the rest of this shit out anyway. So, yeah, might as well start now. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it just gives you, like, that freedom. I don't think we think about it. Dude, humans are, like, complex, but really fucking simple people where I just don't think we think about it. I think we just
creatures of habit.
We just have, like, oh, I do this every day because this is what I do, and you don't think about it at all because you just assume you have a lot of time left. And so the idea that you're on limited time doesn't really cross our mind until you're forced to sort of think about it. And I think that comes either with age or health. Like,
yeah, or somebody's health that's close to you.
Yeah,
right. Because I've seen times when like somebody would pass. And you know that'll like force other family members to go and make the move that they've been talking about making for the last 10 years and have never pulled the trigger. I've seen shit like that. Dude, death, whether it's, if it's somebody that's close to you, that usually has pretty good impact as far as like, am I, kind of like the whole self-reflection impact.
Yeah, I could see that. I think it's funny because I know people sort of like entering their like mid 50s and they're starting to like see their friends around them, like get ill or pass, and
right.
and they're like, yeah, man, it's forced me to like take more vacations or, take up a hobby that I've always wanted to do or what, and I've been really lucky that I haven't lost a whole lot of people that are super close to me.
Right.
Like from that standpoint, like I've seen death just not with people who were like really, really close to me. And so I've never been forced to think about that from that perspective as much. And I don't think I'm old enough to sort of have this appreciation yet of like, oh, I should really start like, living this way because whatever, like my friends around me.
Yeah. You're not faced with your mortality.
Yeah. Like I'm sort of spoiled still in that sense of like, I don't have that yet. But whenever I do talk to people or I see stories like that, I always think to myself, like, fuck, what am I waiting for? Like, I could preach it or think about it all the time, but if I don't live like that, then... And there's practicalities, I think, to the way we live all the time. But I also think that's just stories that we tell ourselves to justify our sort of, like, mundane, whatever, simple choices that we make every day. Yeah,
and, dude, to put things into perspective for you, right? So he's 46, or he was 46. That's 9 years from now.
I would change
you, right?
a lot about my life if I knew I even had 9 years to go.
I was going to say, so it's 9 years from now. And it's like 9 years ago was when we went to Vegas to see Mayweather fight.
And I can't even.
That was actually, bro, that was almost 10 years ago.
I was going to say, that's probably closer to 10, right? Yeah. And then I couldn't even fathom. That feels like not that long ago.
No, bro.
And yeah, dude, and I think about too, like I have family members. I have an uncle who at 40 had like a widowmaker heart attack, survived it.
Oh, really?
Has had multiple heart attacks since, is still alive, doing well. But I think about that. I'm like, fuck, 3 years from now, I could potentially have one of those, like I'm in that age where you go,
right.
If I don't start taking care of myself really well, like it's no longer, it's tragic, but it's no longer like out of the, like when you're young, man, you have this like this invincibility to you that you think you are, where you're just like, man, shit's never gonna happen to me. You know what I mean? Like, and then now the closer I start creeping up, I'm like, man, it's fair game. You know what I mean? Like, fuck.
Yeah, they can take me any day now.
Take me any day now. I'm like, I haven't exactly like, been nice. I haven't been good to my body.
Been pumping this poison in for the last 4 years.
I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna pay for this soon.
Bro, let's switch gears, bro. What's up with this Mile High Club?
Bro, this guy, shout out. I gotta open the story right quick, cause so I don't know if you saw, this dude went on a flight this week, and he was it was his first flight ever, so first time flyer. And he was requesting to the flight attendants if they would help him join the Mile High Club. And he asked he asked two flight attendants, and then he was arrested.
What airline? Spirit.
It was.
Yeah, no.
Yes. It shocked me more that they didn't take him up on that. I'm like, did you offer to pay? I can't imagine Spirit. It's looking it was a Spirit Airlines.
He wasn't tipping.
He was. I don't like the plane already looks like a condom.
For those of you who have not followed us for a long time, Juan has a thing about Spirit Airlines, and every time he has a chance, he takes a shot at them. So I just figured I'm gonna just throw it out there, and I was fucking right.
Fucking hate him. Oh my god, bro. But yeah, you figured if he would have like been like, yo, where does the card reader, like, do I have to pay for this? and then where's the menu for that? Like handsies, one price, like. But bro, they arrested him. I forget what it was, like disturbing. I think it was like interrupting the operation of federal air. Whatever,
so he was probably really like, he wasn't just an ass. Like he was like, oh, not you. What about you?
Yeah, like, he asked two of them, and they both turned him down. But I guess maybe they complained about it, and you can arrest him because I guess he's like sort of like what do you call that?
Yeah, I guess
distracting them from their work.
From their work,
I guess. Yeah. Which I'm like, that's part of your job, bro. I ask you, how's that different from me asking you if I can have another soda? Hey, you want to go in the bathroom right quick? Nah, all right. It didn't take any more time.
Nah, that's true, bro.
So he must have been really persistent.
Yeah. So what is the charge? Yeah. There you go.
So the charge is you're interfering with like an employee on a federal flight because it's an airplane. It's a federal whatever offense. So it's like you can't interfere with their ability to perform their duties.
So to me, that must have been that he must have been pressing the issue.
You had to, right? You got to be extremely persistent because if you only ask once, I'm gonna be like, then that's not the charge, bro. Because what if I just consistently ask you for a soda? Is that okay the whole time?
Right.
I don't know. Is sex off the table? Is that the problem? Completely? Was that not supposed to happen?
What about if we go to the bathroom and take your top off? Can we do that?
Can we have? Didn't there used to be an airline that did that? Didn't Hooters used to have an airline? No, they don't take their top off. But Hooters had an airline, right, at one point in time.
Did they really?
Yeah, that was a Hooters airline. Yeah, you don't remember this shit?
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Look it up. I'm pretty sure Hooters had an airline, bro. I'm almost positive Hooters had an airline at one point in time. But yeah, the homie was asking. I guess he was very persistent. He asked 2 flight attendants on a Spirit Airlines flight, which I don't know, man. I can't imagine you're making that much money on Spirit that you're in a position to turn down these propositions. But whatever.
Maybe they should have reconsidered.
Yo, can you imagine an OnlyFans if you're welcome, flight attendant who steals this idea. You and OnlyFans, and you just pick a random passenger, and you just record you, whatever. It doesn't even have to be you banging them. It could be a handsy. It could be whatever on a flight, in a bathroom, or in the back, and whatever. And that'd be your OnlyFans channel. And you just charge $9.99 a month for subscription.
So hold on, is this a flight attendant or is this somebody just a random
flight attendant? Or if you're a random,
just a random.
Dude, if you're a random, you could just make it a thing where you just bring somebody with you and you figure out a way to do it. But I think it's funner if you're a flight attendant. I think it's if you're a flight attendant,
definitely more cost effective.
Yeah,
but if you get caught, then you get fired, right?
Yeah, you get fired, but presumably you're making so much off your channel you don't care. And then hopefully, you can
then you can afford flights
to like on ground OnlyFans content. I don't know, man. That Mile High Club. How do we feel about this? Have you joined the Mile High Club yet?
I have not.
You have not? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, no, I haven't either.
It's probably not gonna happen.
It's probably. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it's gonna happen for me. I'm too tall for those bathrooms. That's my excuse.
Shit just looks uncomfortable, bro.
My excuse is I'm too tall for the bathroom.
That shit looks uncomfortable, bro.
What? Which part? The bathroom?
Just the bathroom in general. It's barely enough for one person, let alone two.
That's what makes it fun, though.
Man. I like room, bro.
You like? I don't need that much.
I like space.
Oh, I need all the room. I can disappoint you in a 2x2 box.
I need space and 3 minutes.
Not continuous.
Dude, you see the NFL this week?
Oh man, who saw those upsets coming, man? Man.
The Cowboys won. Cowboys fans. Dude, I gotta say, bro, I thought they were gonna win.
Yeah.
But I don't trust them. And I didn't trust them in the game either. And then as that shit started to unfold and Green Bay was just putting it on them, and I was just like, no, like there's no way it's going to be this blowout. And it wasn't as bad as I guess as it could have been, right?
But it was when it mattered.
But it was, right.
Yeah. Like the garbage time, there's 2 garbage time touchdowns that when the game really mattered, it wasn't even close, bro.
And here's the deal, man. So there was a lot of shit that went wrong with the Cowboys that day. But, bro, like, Dak Prescott, you're not the guy, bro.
Go back to episode 17, if I'm not mistaken, of our podcast. when Dak was bitching about a contract, and then the Cowboys gave him a fat contract. Yeah. And I believe I said, fuck Dak Prescott on this.
Yeah, you did. Dude, he's not the guy. I mean, and for those of you who have fans, he's not a bad quarterback.
No, not bad.
And he had a good year, and he's had some good years, right? But there's one thing that when there's a big game like that on the line, like, your leader needs to be at his best.
Yeah.
And like we've seen and I had to just compare him to like a Patrick Mahomes. I've seen games this year where the Chiefs have lost, where Patrick Mahomes has been putting the ball right where it's supposed to be, and his guys are dropping it. And so you can look at those games and you go, yeah, they lost, man, but it wasn't because of that guy.
Patrick, yeah.
And for him to come in there, throw a pick, he threw 2 picks, right? One of them was a pick 6.
Yep.
And I'm just like, dude, at some point, which by the way,
at home.
Yeah, at home, which they haven't lost this whole year. They didn't lose.
And you're a number 2 seed.
Number 2 seed.
Yeah.
And you're playing you're playing the number 7. You're playing the worst seed in the conference.
Who needed the last week of the season to get in?
Yeah. If the Bears beat Green Bay in the last week, it's I think it was Seattle that gets in.
New Orleans.
Was it New Orleans? Okay. Oh yes, that's right. Because
New Orleans won earlier in the day.
That's right. Yep. That's right. And dude, wow, man, I was blown away, and then I'm even more blown away that they kept. So before this podcast started, the news came out that they are keeping Mike McCarthy as the coach.
Shocking,
but bro, if he doesn't, like, as the coach, like, you have to blow up some shit. I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. Something has to change. You can't go. We're running it back with the same crew.
Yeah, you gave up 52 to a second-year QB, right? Second or third year QB.
Wait,
Jordan Love and
no, he's a third-year QB in the league. He's a first-year
starter, but and then second-year wide receivers and rookies.
Yeah, dude, no.
Yeah.
They're the youngest team in the league. I think.
Yeah, no,
right?
They are. I think that's what makes them so fun to watch, dude. They're like too, and this is gonna. I'm not. This is not an insult. It's like they're too dumb and young to realize, I think, the stakes.
Right.
And so they're so loose out there because there's like zero pressure. I think when you watch them play against the Cowboys, they were like they had that swagger about them where they're just like, well, we're supposed to lose anyway, so fuck it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was just like that played to their benefit where the Cowboys looked tight the whole time. Like you said, Dak looked shook from the minute the ball was snapped. I thought it was really telling. Kyle Shanahan, the coach of the Niners, did you see his press conference?
Oh,
he said he started preparing in the second
quarter.
quarter. They shifted to preparing for the Green Bay.
Yep, I did see that.
And I'm like, man, that's like really telling because you go, yes, the score was lopsided already, but you go, 3 touchdowns, the Cowboys, the way they perform, maybe they could come back. But even he's like, that's not going to happen.
No, but
like,
bro, wasn't it fucking 27?
Yeah, I think it's 27, 28 to 3 or nothing. Yeah. I think you're right because I think.
Oh, no, they scored at the end. No. They scored a TD before the half.
That's right, they did. Yeah, so it was like 27-7 or something.
Yeah.
Yep. And he was like, yeah, we shifted like half, and it wasn't even then. He shifted halfway through the second quarter. He said they made the change, man. Which I'm like, yeah, that's
dude. And I am a Packers hater because I'm a Bears fan, right?
Yeah.
But watching those guys, watching Jordan Love, I'm like, fuck. Green Bay has done it again, and I'm watching his mechanics, and I'm like, that's the formula, bro. Get somebody who's competent, that fits your system, that can sit behind a Hall of Famer and let him learn. Because the throws that this dude was making were very Aaron Rodgers-esque, Brett Favre-esque. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And here we go, man. The Packers drafted Favre in 92. They had Favre, then they had Aaron Rodgers. They had 32 years or already 31 years, right, of Hall of Fame quarterback.
Oh, yeah, elite. It's a Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback.
And here we are potentially with another one.
With another decade or two of, another really, really good, quarterback. Because he looked great. Yeah. He looked calm. He looked,
Now, they should get demolished by the San Fran this week.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Dude, and if you do, I don't think we think anything different. That team's already overachieved what we thought they were going to do.
Yep.
Yeah, like they're almost allowed to, but fuck, I hope they make it fun. They were fun to watch. Their offense is fun to watch. Their defense is fun to watch. Like you're like, man, I hope they turn out. Dude, the Detroit line story was awesome to see what that city has gone through.
And that was a close game.
Oh, so close, man. And to see what that city has gone through, and we both always make jokes about Detroit because we've been there and it was pretty rough. But the people from there are very prideful, man.
Yeah.
And the people from there love that they're from there and they love the city and love the state and all that. And it's really cool. it was really cool to see their reaction. Like there was people in the stands crying. I don't know if you saw the game. There was people in the stands
I didn't.
crying,
Yeah,
like older people just like bawling because their team. And I'm like, that's
dude. When was the last
crazy.
time it was in the 90s? Was it 90?
92, 91 that they won a playoff game. So it's been over 30 years since they even won a playoff game. They haven't won a title since.
Oh, ever.
Never a Super Bowl.
Bro. Never Super Bowl.
It was like a National Football Championship or whatever it was called back then. Yeah.
Yeah, when there was like 3 teams.
Yeah, so it was cool to see the reaction. It was cool to see like Eminem there and all the publicity they did for that. It was like I think just a city that needed a dub like that in sports. It's a good sports town. So it was a cool story, man.
And we were part of this too. A few years ago when Dan Campbell took over that team. Yo, when he went into the press conferences and he would say what he would say.
Oh, I was making fun of him every chance I could get, bro.
We made fun of him, man. Yo, I take it back.
Yeah, man.
Kudos to that guy. That guy changed the culture and has brought that team to prominence. So kudos to that, man.
And yeah, I was really wrong about him. I think also, I don't know that Dan Campbell works in LA, but he works really well in Detroit.
Right.
I think he is someone that his personality is very much like that Midwest, that Rust Belt, that blue collar. Yeah, that blue collar. Like I think he works really, really well for that town, for that fan base. And like you said, just change the culture. Obviously, the players respect him. And even I've seen a shift in him and how he sort of handles press conferences and so. Yeah, I was wrong, man. He's I think exactly what that city needed, what that team needed. I thought it was really cool when he gave Jared Goff the ball. He said, "You're good enough for Detroit."
Yeah,
I thought it was really
cool.
Yeah,
that's another great storyline, right? So Jared Goff gets drafted by the Rams. And then ends up getting traded to Detroit for Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford goes to the Rams, wins the Super Bowl, and then here they go.
In his first year, right?
In his first year. And then here they are meeting again. Stafford coming back to Detroit. Goff, like the guy who sort of got discarded from LA because he couldn't win the Super Bowl, right? Because they lost to the Patriots, right?
Yeah, that's right.
The Rams,
and he didn't put up any points, I think.
No, that wasn't it.
That was that really 9-3 Super Bowl or 13-9 or whatever. It was a really shitty Super Bowl. I remember that.
So it was just a good story, man. But between those guys and definitely for that city.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. Most of the games are blowouts. Like Saturdays were terrible, but that Rams game I think was the funnest one to watch. I wasn't surprised about the Eagles at all. I've been saying for like 3 weeks that the Eagles are going to lose in the first round of playoffs.
I didn't think they were going to, man. But kudos to the Bucks.
Yeah, man. There was something about that Eagles team. You know me, man. I'm gonna pump my chest on this one because again, the Dak thing I never felt great about. Never felt good. I think last year I was telling you, this is the Eagles' window because if they don't get it now, they're not gonna get it because you're only gonna have this O-line for so long. You're only gonna have Devontae Smith and AJ Brown and all these guys on the same team for so long because you're not gonna be able to afford to pay them because unfortunately this is a business. And
dude, the coach must have lost them halfway through or 3/4 of the way through the freaking
and I'd be
season,
curious to see what comes out. The whole winning cures everything is very true. These could be problems that always existed, but when you start to lose games, it's hard to overlook stuff. So, I'd be curious to see what comes out. I think he gets fired. I'd be really salty if Mike Vrabel wound up there because I think Mike Vrabel was a top 3 coach in the NFL, and I feel like he got shafted by Tennessee, but well, then
it might be a perfect spot for him to land.
It's gonna be a phenomenal spot. They already have all the players he's used to coaching. Fucking Philly,
hey guys,
dude,
I'm back.
Bill Belichick does Bill Belichick, who I think is, I don't know, I think is outdated, but might work really well at a team like that.
I don't know, man. Like dude, not for nothing, bro. I don't know if I'm sold on Belichick, man. 6 Super Bowls, I get it, but not without Tom Brady.
Yeah. As I said, I'm not either. As I said, I think he's outdated, but if he's going to work in the NFL, like I see he's interviewing with Atlanta, it doesn't work. You have to start from scratch. You don't have
there's no QB. They
QB.
have,
you don't have right.
Yeah, they have decent personnel. They need a quarterback.
Yeah, so it doesn't work because he has proven that he needs the quarterback, right? Like, I mean, everybody does, but it's, unless you're the Baltimore Ravens of, 2002, like you need a quarterback. Yeah, I just don't see him. But I felt like the Cowboys and the Eagles were the two teams where I'm like, fuck, I guess if you're going to get another job and it's short term, those work. You don't have to build them. You just got to get them now over the hump.
Over the hump, yep.
And so I think that, you hand him a playoff team that he has to turn into a Super Bowl team. Possible. He surrounds himself with good coordinators.
Yeah.
Fine. I don't think he works anywhere
Don't
else.
make any defensive coordinators as offensive coordinators.
Oh, my God, bro. You don't want Matt Patricia calling your offensive plays, man? Is that what you're saying?
Dude, that was a fucking bonehead move on his part. But, whatever.
Two sons over there chewing fucking grass or whatever they do. And then
no.
I don't know if that's true. His son's always looks like he's chewing something like, and he sticks shit in his mouth. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's
his
tobacco.
son's on the coaching staff?
Yeah. He has two sons on the Patriots coaching staff, which they are allowed to stay, by the way, on the Patriots staff.
Shit.
But presumably, if he's interviewing with teams, he's asking for positions for his. I'm sure he's asking for positions for his.
Yeah,
son.
I mean, typically, right? If a whole head coach is hired, he's bringing a staff with him.
So we'll see. I don't know, man. He's clearly not done coaching because the fact that he's interviewing with Atlanta. I thought he would take one more job at a contender because he wants to win one Super Bowl without Tom Brady. Because I feel like not getting one without him hurts his legacy. He needs one because then Brady has one. He has one. I think it sort of leaves it in the forever debate
discussion.
Oh, not without Brady, but he's like, but I got one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I think, I thought he would do that. But the fact that he interviewed with Atlanta told me, he's just not done coaching. And he just wants to keep doing this.
Yeah.
So he's going to take whatever job's offered to him.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
How we doing on time, bro?
Dude, we're 56 minutes in, man.
Oh, not bad. Not bad.
Hitting it on the spot, man.
Anything else on the NFL?
No, man.
Or you want to talk about potholes or?
Yeah, you saw this fucking story. I don't know if this says more about the medical care in India but there's a guy in India, man. He was riding in an ambulance and he was pronounced dead. And they were taking him to the morgue, I think. He was in the back of the thing. And then so the guy's pronounced dead. They did whatever, called it, were on their way to the morgue.
Yeah.
And they hit a pothole so hard that he came back to life.
That's a hell of a pothole, bro.
Bro. It's fucking defibrillating ass.
Dude, what does that do? Like if you hit a big hole, right? So the van or whatever, the ambulance fucking jumps and your body jumps and fucking restarts your heart.
It shook him just hard enough to wake him up because he was never dead, bro. They're just so malnourished that they didn't have the strength to shrug him. So the bottle was like.
Now India's a big place, man. Do we know where this was?
Yeah. Ooh, I don't think the story. Let me see. I don't think the story.
I mean, India is the second most populated country in the world, right? Just behind China.
Yeah. So it just says I can't. Yeah. Wait. Patiala. I apologize if I'm saying that wrong because we do have a lot of listeners in India. Probably because they think I'm one of them. But
we got to get you an accent.
So I got to go. I was going to try to fake one. I can't even fake an Indian accent. I'm going to get canceled before we start. I can't even fake an Indian accent.
No, man, I work with a lot of guys from India, man. You definitely not sound like
in the
guys.
IT?
Yep.
Shocking.
But let me tell you,
never saw that coming.
Bro, let me tell you, man. Smart fucking guys. Smart and humble.
The Indian guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're fucking smart and humble, man. And I haven't run into any assholes. Let me put it that way.
No?
Yeah. So it's been a good experience, and even with like the thick accents, bro, I got it down, bro.
So you learn how to decipher.
I got it down, bro. Yeah. Yep.
I do pretty good until the ones that have like the click thing with the tongue, and then I get fucking lost. Thing? Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
I'm not even gonna try to fucking.
No, don't do it.
No. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to fake it. But yeah, I do really well. And then there's certain dialects from certain regions in India where there's like I don't even know if you call it a click. It's like you're pressing your tongue on the roof of your mouth. And those I have a tough time, I think, deciphering a little more of those than the rest.
Yeah.
But I could ask me off air. I could do it.
Bro, let's close it off with R. Kelly.
Oof. Yo, shit makes so much sense, bro. So much fucking sense. R. Kelly was on the news this week because he was talking about there was a lawsuit that he got hit with, and he lost a $10.5 million judgment.
Do we know what for? Is this for like peeing on girls?
Yeah, one of those things, bro. It's like peeing on somebody, doing something. He was
10 million.
Sued $10.5 million. He said he had no clue that he lost it. And he said he had no clue he lost it because they gave him all the paperwork, but he couldn't read it because he can't read.
Yeah, is he illiterate, bro?
That's what he says, man. And I don't know if he's just trying to come off really retarded so he can get out of jail. But he said,
no, he's in jail.
Yes. Yeah, he's done.
Is he like done? Is it like through all the women that came out?
Yeah, he
kind of
against him. I don't think so, man. Yeah.
What is his sentence? Do we know?
I don't know. So this lawsuit, though, specifically was awarded to 6 women, and it was $10.5 million. And they were actually the victims of the. Because he can't. Well, fuck. It had something to do with that documentary or whatever. But anyway, so $10.5 million awarded to them. No, it doesn't really say. Just the $10.5 million, and there it was at something over a mass shooting threat in response to the screening of this whole surviving R. Kelly thing. But bro, he says he can't. He claims he can't understand words beyond a grade schooler, and that he can't read, and so he only knows anything that goes on because his lawyers read it and then tell him what it is. And then if they're big words, he doesn't understand them, so he can't be. Like he just never knows what's going on. They just fucking tell him because he has like the IQ, I guess, of a grade schooler. Doesn't understand big words, can't read and stuff. And I'm like, that's why this motherfucker thought he could fly. This whole time we thought it was this inspirational song. He was being serious as fuck. He was like, no, I was at the top of the building. I was about to jump.
Now there's a guy who you would think would be on the Epstein list.
Yo, bro, no black people. You notice? No black folks on Epstein Island, bro.
What did I go?
No black folks on Epstein Island, bro. That's the one thing. Black folks was out last week. They were like, let's fucking go. Let's go.
Was it Michael Jackson on there?
Nah, he not. No, he Asian.
Or he not black?
He an Asian woman. Nope.
Oh, we not counting him as
black. We
not
counting him as black, bro. Nope. Not Michael. It depends when he went.
Did he go in the 70s?
Nope. He went in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. He was an Asian woman by then. He wasn't that. Ain't no black people on the Epstein list, bro. The closest thing they got to a black guy was Hawkins.
No, Clinton.
Yo,
yeah,
see? Fucking sax player, listens to jazz, smokes weed, gets a blowjob at the Oval. Yeah,
he was the first black president.
Yeah, Clinton was a brother for sure, or Latino. Clinton's swagger was unprecedented, bro. Yo, has anybody been responsible, so we think, for more bodies and yet is still likable than Bill Clinton?
People don't give a fuck.
We hate his wife more and we actually have dirt on Bill. You know what I mean? Like, we know shit Bill did, and we love him way more than we like her.
Dude, that charisma, bro.
Bro, that guy, man. Fucking A, bro. Dude, nope. Dude, it's so surprising. Even fucking the Epstein people were like, "Ooh, that R. Kelly, that boy's kind of wild." I don't think we like him around here.
We don't want him. We don't want him peeing on the girls.
No, they're like, no. They brought a magician to entertain them, but they're like, not a musician. They're like, nope. Don't let R. Kelly come over here. They even Copperfield on there too.
Yeah, David Copperfield.
Yeah. So see, look at that. They're bringing all kinds of entertainment. They're bringing in an education specialist in Hawkins. They had royalty and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, entertainers, fucking royalty.
Just not
R. Kelly.
R. Kelly tried to get in. They were like,
not you, bro.
Like, we can't be associated with the shit you do.
You have to sign the contract, but you have to be able to read it.
You gotta read it first.
Out loud.
Now we know why this motherfucker was stuck in a closet. I was trapped for real. He's like, come on and braid my hair. It's like, no, for real. I don't know how.
Yo, on that, tell them where they can find us.
Not at the top of R. Kelly's Christmas card list. Carbon Football Podcast on IG, at Carbon Football Podcast on TikTok, the Carbon Football Podcast on Facebook and YouTube, and then all your favorite audio platforms, Amazon Music, Audible, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, GeoSavant Ghana, TuneIn, Podchaser, Pocket Cast, and yeah, anywhere else where you listen to audio. But yeah, hit us up. And if we're not on there, fucking get a new app because we're on the major ones.
Yeah, we all over the place.
Yeah,
people.
don't use the obscure ones.
Yo, and go on Apple Podcasts and leave us a review if you would. I'm gonna leave you out with this quote.
Oh, do it.
From the famous Christopher Walken.
Ooh, you got to do it in his voice.
Oh, I don't know if I can do that.
You can't do it.
If you knew how quickly people forget the dead, you would stop living to impress people. Do your thing, people.
Let's fucking go. Let's go. Quit your job tomorrow, everybody.
That's right. And as always, we appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.